Anyways, how you feeling, brother?
I'm good, man. Still kicking. That's all I can ask for.
Pretty much it. That's pretty much it on that part. Everything good then.
Mhm.
Welcome to an episode of Pay the Soul Boxing. I am Foreman.
I am twin.
And thank you for letting us be fair and be fruitful and rest so that way we can take a week off and enjoy the nice things of life. I do got some rants and videos I got. I just ain't post them because I realized, like, bro, I really be cussing people out and talking crazy. That's the reason I
I
be
would
tripping.
I would have posted them hoes.
I want to. I ain't even gonna hold you. I want to, but I don't want to start. I don't want to start no stuff. Not really. I mean, I do, but I don't. Because I don't want to come off as like somebody like, oh, he just mad at this person because of blah blah, and that's not true at all. Because you know how people love to take words and flip all the time. That's
Mhm.
not what I'm not gonna let that happen. So I don't know. I might just say screw it one day, I guess. We'll see. Um in this week recap, there's a lot of things we could recap, and I think we can go for some of the most important things, I think. First things first. Vasiliy Lomachenko, thank you for your career. Vasiliy Lomachenko announced his retirement. I'm pretty sure we've all seen the news by now. The boxing world has adjusted and felt their effects. Raymond Moratalia has been elevated from the interim to the full champion now. Um, and they're looking for fights between him and now actually Andy Cruz, because Andy Cruz just won the actual interim outside of that. So the boxing world is adjusted accordingly to that. Now that Lomachenko has decided to retire, all right, it's time to call some things into question as it relates to his professional career, not his amateur career, his professional career. Um, what do you think about Lomachenko retiring before we get there?
I mean, if he felt it was time, then it was time. He had a good short career, professional wise, amateur wise. That it's pretty spectacular. uh,
Amateur wise, 396 and what is it, 396 and one with two gold medals and one loss. He beat that man like six times over.
mhm.
Can't do nothing
So
about that.
I mean, it was good. Got some titles out of it. Some big fights out of him.
Yep.
Can't really say he ducked anybody. Could say somebody ducked him, but that just depends on what end of the spectrum you're on. Uh,
Some of those are pretty colorful.
hmm So yeah, good career. Probably going into the Hall of Fame. Um, he
Now we're gonna have some questions.
he'll get
You
there.
said you said the trigger statement. Hall of Fame.
Mm.
All righty. Lomachenko, to me, has always been a Hall of Fame talent. I don't think there's any question about any of that. Where we're going to get into question of everything now that his career is finished, he's called it, it is what it is. His biggest win only came in his third fight of his career against Gary Russell Jr. A lot would say, and rightfully so, if you're looking at Lomachenko's career as a whole, you could say that that career was absolutely overrated, regardless of him winning three divisions. You could say that career was overrated because anytime when the talent finally decided to try to catch up to him, he fought Teofimo. Well, not even that. You can go to Orlando Salido fight. Yeah, Salido retired, so he didn't have to rematch him or whatever you want to call that. But, you know, he fought Teofimo, he loses. Okay.
Mm.
He fights, he gets himself back. He fights Devin Haney. He loses. So anytime the talent reached up to him, he did not win. You could absolutely call Lomachenko's career Hall of Fame potential, Hall of Fame talent, but not a Hall of Fame career. That's what I've got.
That's fair. Um, it's I think it's also fair, and I mean, it was his decision, so it's like it's nobody's fault or anything. But one could wonder what his career would have looked like if he stayed at what 130, one
Mm-hmm.
if he like stayed and didn't try to go bigger. I think he could have. He started 126.
Yep.
If he stayed at 126 and 130, I think he could have. I don't know if he would have lost. I don't know who he would have lost to.
Well, I mean, he stayed at 126. He lost to Orlando Salido in his second fight.
I mean,
So
I mean,
here we are.
after he became no mask Chico or whatever you want to like in that groove of those wins. I don't know.
Okay. All
He
right. So then let's
didn't how he fight.
then let's nitpick those wins then. Because we're gonna you're gonna look at the names and you're gonna say, all right, he fought Mariaga, he fought Nicholas Walters. You mean the Nicholas Walters who top rank had on the shelf for a year and change after that point? And his first fight back was against an active and running Lomachenko?
I mean, things could be said.
See?
You
Hey, like I said, we can now that the career is called, Lomachenko, like I said, Hall of Fame talent, Hall of Fame marketing for sure.
hmm
Uh, but no Hall of Fame signature win at all. No matter how you want to slice that, there is not a Hall of Fame win in that man's book. It's
Yeah,
just not.
I think he would have been better suited. I mean, hats off to him for going and challenge himself, especially at his stature. But
Sure.
I think he would have been better suited if he stayed 126, 130 at max. I think we would have saw more fights from him.
Mm-hmm.
I think we would have saw more of what we saw from him in the first place. Once he got into that groove, uh, does that mean we don't see him against some of the big names? Probably so. But I think it was. I think once he went up to the bigger weights, it was a combination of the talent that he was going against versus how he didn't want to fight. Um, he has the he didn't necessarily want to bang. I mean, he would, and
I mean,
if you look at To versus him versus To and versus Devin, like he eventually in the back half of the fights, he had to bite down on his mouthpiece and get busy, and he
right.
started doing that, and he started winning more rounds, or he at least fared better than he did in the first half of those fights.
For sure. For
He
sure.
he didn't really want to do that. He didn't have to do that most of the times at 126 and 130 against those other guys. So if he never got tested like that, what would we have seen from him? Would he have just coasted on a lot of fighters? Maybe. Um, but we saw he had the dog in him, and it would come out, but he didn't really prefer to fight that way, in my opinion, at least.
Correct. So again, we can get the saying outside of, the two biggest fights of your career, call it three actually. The three biggest fights of your career, you did not win at all. So, Hall of Fame, sure, maybe because unfortunately the writers are going to have bias towards him in his Olympics amateur career. First ballot Hall of Fame, yes or no?
So it
Mm.
it's
Now,
You got we got what we got the International Boxing Hall of Fame.
in first
We
ballot International Boxing Hall of Fame, is he in? Yes or no?
we got is it's not pro boxing, it's boxing Hall of Fame, right?
International, now that's not
Not
professional boxing.
no, not international, the other one. Like is
The Basketball Hall of Fame. I think they encompass all of it.
okay? Because I'm trying to figure out
He's
if this.
going to the. I think you're talking about either the internet. Yeah, like for the amateur. Oh yeah, we're not. He's a
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I'm trying to go through it because it's kind of like basketball. Like a lot of people don't really realize like the Basketball Hall of Fame just
And
says
then you got the
basketball.
Naismith and all them Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
You got a couple of them. Yeah,
it's not the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame. So that's why you get players that went through high school and won a state championship, college won a college championship, and then did pretty well in the pros, and they still get in. It's like why they get in because it's the Basketball Hall of Fame.
correct. It's
It's
just the
just
basketball. Like,
yeah.
what did you do for real?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, nah. Um, First ballot Hall of Fame, no. Especially depending on who he's on that record on that ballot with in a couple of years. That's where it's gonna get real nasty at. So thank you, Lomachenko, for the entertaining fights. This is not to say that we hated you fighting. This is not that, nowhere near that. But we call shit straight. Sorry, by God. All right. They did. I like it. It makes me look handsome, more handsome. Um, I know you just love me. Uh, Jaron Ennis decided to hit a 154-pound division after years of saying, "Oh, I want to be undisputed at 147. That's my goal." Not getting the fight with Virgil Ortiz Jr. and all of that. And here we are now. Well, with this news, Boost decides to enter the fray of the Valley of the Shadow of Death at 154 pounds. All righty, as he enters this very much so highly qualified division, who still holds Sebastian Fundora, Tim Tszyu, Jamel Charlo, uh, Bachman, Lubin, I mean, Virgil Ortiz, Madrimov. I mean, it's some players around here. It's
Mm-hmm.
some real players around here. And from what we've seen previously with Boots on some of these fights, when those guys get the pressing on him and pushing on him, it can get real nasty. Do we think Boots has punching power to go along with some of these guys?
I think he does. If you believe the claims that he says that him and his team put out, that I think he said he was underperforming by like 20 or
50
30%.
to 20, 30% or something like that.
So if you take that into account, plus, I mean, he's pretty accurate. He'll throw in bunches if he sees opening. So I think I think so. My question is he gonna work on his defense enough to not to not get punched on at 154?
Because Karen showed us, hey, if you just step there and throw there, you're gonna be all right. I mean, it just is what it is.
Because let me tell you something right now. His team, well, I think it came out of Boost mouth. They mentioned that as soon as they said they were going to 54, that they called or placed a call about Virgil Ortiz. Look here, man. Don't go over there to Virgil. If you ain't changing nothing, don't do that.
my
Don't
boy young
don't do.
my boy young Grand Prairie ain't throwing hands for fake. My
Mm-mm.
boy young Grand Prairie ain't throwing hands for fake at all, man. So yeah, if he gonna pull up on Virgil, he gonna have to figure something out for sure. There ain't no hands but about it. But apparently he ignored Bachram recently too. Apparently he wasn't ready for Bachram yet. Bachram, who's been on the shelf since last year and beating Tenzu for some reason. But hey, it is what it is.
We gonna see. All that Boots ain't got nobody to fight at 147. He ain't really challenged
He ain't
himself.
got that out. Hey, that is
All
not the
that
case here.
all that he fighting down to the level of his competition. Well, we
That
gonna see.
is that is not the case at
Well,
all. That
well,
is not the case at all.
we might not see in his first two fights because according to Robert Garcia, Boots Camp said he need like 2 tune-up fights before he fight Virgil. So we'll see who that is.
Okay.
That's what Robert said. So
Crawford was off the layoff and went and fought Madrimov, but hey, you know, Earl came back after Rex and decided to fight Rugas and fight Danny Garcia, and then he went to fight Terrence Crawford. I'm just, hey, you know what? Never mind. Jaime Munguia decided that he got his heart broke so bad against Surace that he needed to take an extra testosterone and fail the drug. I mean, try to win the screw it. Jaime Munguia failed his drug test, both samples, A and B, for illegal testosterone because that whole camp with Eddie Reynoso, regardless of what anybody say, it ain't got to be Eddie Reynoso, but it's going to be Eddie Reynoso's nutritionist. It's going to be Eddie Reynoso's cook. It's going to be Eddie Reynoso's bartender. It's going to be his snack caker. I don't care who it is. It's Eddie Reynoso and Canelo and all them team. There is no reason that every single person that goes that way, besides Fat Andy to this point that we know, has failed a drug test for some kind of illegal testosterone, clenbuterol, whatever you want to go with. All of y'all failing tests. Boy, that's some. I don't even want to hear it. Surace, a man who had virtually no knockouts, broke your heart so bad.
and then you still look like shit. If we being honest, you ain't, you ain't look all that great.
Yeah, you had your hands up a lot better, but the performance output was low. You was trying to force Surace. Surace was doing this thing just like, okay, I guess I got to pay it slow. You was punching obviously harder for some reason. And guess now we know the reason why you were punching harder.
And that's why I say you look like shit. Because if you gonna cheat, I mean, without the cheating, you look decent. But if you cheated and you had an extra boost, and that's how you look, then you look like shit.
Word to Osterin. I mean,
So, uh, whoever over the Eddie Reynoso, whoever Mama or Auntie, because y'all always claim contamination, whoever in the kitchen, kick them out. Because
they need to figure something out because now Surace and Jaime McGee, because the British Board of Boxing Control was in charge of that fight, that brother might mess around and get a 4-year suspension, which the U.S. honors the rule, the fines and the suspensions of the BBOC. So hey, if they do suspend that man for years, that man's career is shot. I hope he saved them paychecks. Because, brother, you're not going nowhere. The fine may be minor, but you're not fighting. It's a whole different ball game. That's a whole different monster there.
don't have to
So,
take that G wagon that Canelo bought him.
yeah, go ahead and cash that back in, homeboy. Premium gas high. It's going to be real high in Mexico as long as the Straits of Hormuz get closed down. So somebody going to have to figure something out. 20% of the world. Sorry, I did not mean to go politics right there. That was terrible. But nonetheless, yeah. If he get a 4-year suspension, 2-year suspension, well, Jarrell Miller came back from it, but he was a heavyweight, and heavyweights are okay the older they get, so that don't matter. But yep, sucks to suck. Y'all some cheating assholes, straight up and down. That's all I got to say. Cheating ass hoes. I was trying to mess that. Oh, I was trying to mess that up terribly. Some
Well,
people, some people would call me the R word for that. They
I
would suck.
no, because he did fight Chocolatito a few years ago. So
That's also true. Okay. Well, nonetheless, other weekend in New York, I want to talk about the results of Richardson, Hitchinson, and George Kambosos. We did have Richardson Hitchinson winning the fight. We didn't think it was going to be a stoppage. I didn't expect that. Straight up and down. Hitchinson looked great in that fight. Simple as that. Um,
I ain't.
yeah,
I was surprised. I thought he was gonna beat on. I thought he was gonna kind of beat on Kambosos in the back half of the fight.
I didn't expect that. I can admit that. I did not expect what I saw. That was a whole different monster. Um, But Hitchinson looked great. Fans, kudos to him, Kumbo, and kudos to Campbell's his agents and his managers for keeping him in another title fight for a check. And but also still a tough guy, and he always gave his props to Hitchinson right after the fight too. So shout out to that. Hitchinson is now he is a defending champion now at 140 pounds, and he did it at home in front of the crowd. Um, so he has the world at his feet. He got Puello, Russell. Um, he got a few options eventually to figure some things out.
I
So
mean, let Russell tell it. He ain't no option because he said he already turned down the fight against Russell. Well, that's what Russell said. Yeah, he said.
ooh,
Russell said. Russell was like, "How you lose?" I think they fought like 4 times in the amateurs or something. He was like, "How I beat you 4 times in the amateurs? You don't want your get back in the pros." Something like that.
you're not telling me
That-
that.
That's what Russell said. Now you know it's two sides to a story, but
Correct. Now I need to know how. I need to know, but you're not gonna tell me that. You're not gonna tell me you with me 4 times like that, bro. You're just not gonna tell me that.
so we shall see.
Dang, that sucks. Um, Right. Yafai and Rodriguez, also over there in England. This is what happens when your ego meets matchmaking. Because, man, from round two on, that man saw what a good old Mexican beatdown was. Mexico been having a little run over there versus England over here a little recent. Can't
Mm,
relate it to Maryland, but they've been over there running right now, boy.
mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Lord.
boy, them boys are still like we always say. Drop down to the lower weights if you want to see some punching, because them boys threw. I think it was like through round 5. Both of them was over 500 punches.
Threw a bunch of punches, but how about Yafai? How about Rodriguez landing the most punches in the face? I think he's in a record for landing the punches. That man landed 532 punches, dog. Like that means that man could not miss. Jesus
Uh,
Christ. That means that man could not miss. Did not, no matter what he did, he wasn't missing. That is
mm,
insane. Absolutely insane. So shout out to him for going over there. But this is all like I said, man. Your ego, your team's ego, trying to hurry up and rush the process sometimes, bro. Hey man, sit y'all ass down somewhere and just keep on getting the wins in. Stack the wins. That division is not for play, bro. Those anything lower than 126 pounds is not for play. Those boys are not playing games down there, bro. So if you gonna come up in those ranks, be ready to fight. Like and I also think he did not box that fight. That was his fault. He went in there trying to slug with a flat-footed Mexican like an idiot. Like, what are you thinking? This is also the problem we have with idiots like Showbiz want to get on there and talk about the no running rule, and then the dumbasses like Turkey, respectfully, I ain't well, he's not Turkey, not a dumbass. Showbiz is the dumbass. Turkey wanted to say, yeah, I don't want the Tom and Jerry game. This is what happens. You got fighters who go away from their damn game plan, and then now guess what? They in the ring, they fighting for stuff they don't even have to fight away. Go win the fight. You only as good as you win, bro. Is you fighting somewhere different from how you what are you doing? What are you doing? So
that,
this is the problem with dumbass people like Showbiz leading y'all astray, talking about we need this no running rule. Boxing has a no running rule. It's in the ABC. Go look at the fucking rules, and you will figure some shit out. I guarantee you. The rules are there. Ain't much of them gonna change no more. If a person runs legitimately in the fight, they turn their back. The referee can and will either take a point and stop a fight, bro. It is what it is. So shut up. Just shut up.
hey
So
man, that that shit's stupid. It's like it's no different than any other sport. Like if there was a case, then and some old head said it like we don't want to see no threes. Like you don't want Steph Curry. Like we would have just missed out on basketball like that if you just cut that off. It ain't no different than football. If you don't want your quarterback running, then don't watch Lamar. Go watch Matt Stafford. If you want
Hey,
to run
bro.
back, then go watch Lamar. If you want somebody in between, go watch Russell Wilson. Like you can go pick and choose. It's different styles that make it exciting. You don't
There
want every.
are options. There are options for you here. Plenty of. Go choose them. You don't have to choose this. Go choose something else if you don't want to see it.
And on top of that, like for actual boxing fans, what's one of the best the prettiest things to watch that people don't even really pay attention to? When a boxer's moving, watching somebody slowly cut the ring off using their feet, man, that's art. And you want to take that out because you just want to see brawling in the middle of the ring.
Then you wondering like, man, he should have did something else. Oh no, really? And all of y'all stop, and also stop trying to talk about this knockout rule here recently and all of that bonus and all of that. OTX already been on that for years. Don't try to bite their swag. Give the OGs their credit. Ain't no such thing as a draw on OTX shows, and they get knockout bonuses for first round knockouts, mid round knockouts, and just a knockout period. So don't try to bite somebody else swag. They already doing that. Go watch some OTX boys fight and women, and you will go see what you want to go see. So cut all that out. We Japan the other weekend. Brian Norman Jr. got a sensational candidate for knockout of the year against Sasaki. An opponent who he was just beating on from round one on all the way to round five. Man, I thought Sasaki was going to be a little bit tougher than that from what we both looked at probably prior to that. I didn't think it was going to go like it did. That was completely unexpected.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Brian Norman.
I wasn't familiar with your game. I was not familiar.
He, hey man, that hook
I
was rough.
I apologize, brother.
That
I
that
apologize.
that left hook was on point.
I mean, picture perfect. Like he probably won't ever be able to create a level that picture perfect like that ever again.
Mm-mm.
Never,
But
never again.
what that boy say? Boots hurt the Norman train.
No, what he said, yeah, it don't even matter. But he saw it and said, "Yeah, we at 154. I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm gaining weight right now, actually. Matter of fact, I'm on the scale. Let's say 175 right now. Man, please.
Well, we gonna see
Yeah,
what's next. Norman, I mean, he probably watching.
he looking for Devin.
I mean, outside of that, I don't even want to say his name because I'm gonna
Don't even
start.
do it. Don't do it. Don't you do it. Don't even worry about it. Don't you do it. We'll ignore. We got a couple weeks before I even got to talk about that. But don't you even do it. Don't you. All right, I'm finna go ahead and end this. Yeah, I'm
Well,
ending this shit. I did. We did. Don't forget, we did. Also, I did talk to Deontay Wilder, so the interview is up on the YouTube channel. The whole interview is on Brunch Boxing. On I think it's on their website, but the interview I'll have to try to see about adding. I'll add the link in here. I don't know if that works on here. I gotta figure out how to do that still. But yeah, the whole interview is about 2 hours as a whole. The first couple minutes, a few minutes are with Matt, with one of the co-hosts of Brunch Boxing, and then it goes to the fan questions. I was the first one, so I had a couple minutes to talk to Wilder about what he wants to do with the rest of his career. As he took this year layoff, he explained what he wants to do in this next year as a whole as he's running by. It looks like he's going to be running by himself mostly. So that seeing other people ask him about his journey with ayahuasca in Costa Rica, had other people just ask what it's like to what keeps the fire going inside of a fighter after they lose their fight. So it was, in all honesty, it was some really, 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 really great questions that went along in there. And he is wordy. He likes to talk. That is one thing for sure that man, he can talk. He got some quotables on there that, my God, I did bars. But he does fight this Friday in Kansas. So the return of the Bronze Bomber is upon us. The Tuscaloosa Hammer. Yeah, that's what we got. So, yeah. That's all I got to say. That's all I'm going to say.
We'll see.
We'll see. That's coming up this weekend. It's Jake Paul fight week, baby. Oh my God! It's what does he call himself? The problem child? The cat? The guy? I don't know. I don't know what he called himself, but he called himself that. Either way, thank y'all for re-tuning in to this episode of Fade Toe Boxing. Shout out to Thanks for Playing. We will actually have a giveaway coming up here soon that we got to figure out how we want to do it. I don't know what kind of boxing giveaway we're gonna do, or how that even gonna work. I don't know, but nonetheless, we're gonna do some. Got a lot of stuff playing. With Thanks for Playing. They have a lot of things coming down the pipeline. A lot of things with more fighters. So a lot more interviews are gonna be on the way and things of that nature with them. Twin, what you got? Some closing words. Let's have a twin talk.
Nope.